Hey YouTube, my guest tonight is joining me all the way from Meghalaya. His new album, The Duchess of GLOOM, is coming out on the 14th of September. Please help me welcome singer-songwriter Aethan Danial. Hey buddy!
Hey, what's up? What's up, Jared? Nice to be here.
Everything is good. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Yeah, everything is good. I feel good being here.
I feel like the weather in Shillong must be really good right now. Must be chilly also.
Yep, it is. Yes. It definitely is, yep.
I was there for about a year, so I know how the weather is.
Yep. We call it easy weather.
Alright, before we talk about your album, which is coming out on the 14th of September, tell me, when did you start singing?
Singing, so I always identified myself as a guitarist first. I picked up the guitar when I was I think 8 or 9 years old. It was always there in the family. My dad was a guitarist as well. So then that progressed, and I was in a few bands playing guitar. It was only up until college, I think, when we formed a band, and there was no singer who could sing the songs that we were playing. As in, no one, not that it was technical or anything, they didn't like the songs that we were playing. So I had to do it myself. So then singing came that way. Then I was always writing throughout. So that it just became like a snowball of all these things.
So you've been also writing your own songs since then? I mean,
Yep. Yes. So ever since I started playing guitar seriously, I think I was still in my 9th or 10th standard. I made it a point that whenever I perform or wherever event I go to, I perform my originals. So that has been a motto of mine, to sort of like inspire me as well to come up with originals, but also I strive. I mean, there's this innate sense of striving to be different. So that was always there. So up until this point, I had always been writing my own stuff.
Being different is good. Wanting to do something different is good, and I like the fact that you wanted to go and do something different. So over the course of you singing and writing your own songs, what has really motivated you to go pursue in the music field?
So I think the thing about me is that I've been in a lot of bands, like I told you already. I've been in a lot of bands. I've been in several projects as well, where we've tried a lot of things, like things that were everywhere, genre-wise, musically-wise, and even what it demanded from me as an artist. But the thing I feel that keeps pushing me, that the fire I'd feel, would be my my urge or the need in me to always try something. I was playing in bands that were everywhere. We were playing in blues bands. I was also in a metal band. Then it was all over the place, but I always kept going forward. We were doing experimental stuff also, but I always needed something different to, to go on. So I think that was what
has motivated you.
Strive to be, yeah.
So how many originals or how many songs have you written so far?
I think there's been quite a few. I don't know the number per se, because I'm always writing, and the thing is, I come up with a lick or a guitar melody, something like that, and I want it to stay, because most times you come up with something good and then it goes away because you haven't had something substantial. So after I do that, I always intend on giving the lyrics, because that's a good way to make a song full. That way it becomes something like, substantial. So because of that habit of mine, I think I have more songs than I think it should be around 30-40 songs.
That is a lot. And how many songs that you have written have you put out originals on, maybe on YouTube or?
On YouTube, I've put up an EP with my previous band, which the content I wrote for and composed, and also performed. That was 3 tracks, and then I put up my single recently. And apart from that, I put up these musical tracks as well, just the music. So those have been going on autopilot for I think 5-10 tracks.
I like that. I mean, to put out your own original song, it must be a little bit risky also. Would you say that?
Yes, it is always. There's always the risk factor, and there's also the fear of the unknown, and what people might say and all that. But I personally think that the best way to succeed is to fail, because failure is imperative to being good at something. Or not even good, I would say improvement. I feel like if someone wants to improve, they have to fail, and failure is a key ingredient in improvement.
If you don't put out, you will not know if it is good or not.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Exactly.
What is your songwriting process like? Where do you get the inspiration, or what is your process like?
So for the 10 tracks of this album, the songwriting has been all over the place. There's some songs that I have finished in half an hour, and then there's some songs that took a little longer than that. There's some songs that I got inspiration from a dream. Then the title track, actually, Duchess of GLOOM, I think I was in university, and there was a forest fire in the Amazon, and I just remember just taking in that information and seeing the indigenous people suffering and all that because of the wildfire. So what had happened was that I just sort of fully immersed myself in that, and then the song came to be, which is Duchess of GLOOM, which actually is a conversation. The song is a conversation between a forest that had just been run by a forest fire and the sky. So it's my songwriting process is all over the place. So it's everything. Yeah, it's all in the moment. Whatever I feel like in the moment, whatever inspires me, I
you
put
just
it
do
out
it.
there.
Go for it.
Yep.
But I feel like that's the gist of writing a song also. I mean, that's your process, that's your zone, and that's how you're able to write consistently in a good way.
Yeah. And the zone is always a fleeting thing, I feel. We always try to catch that, because there'll be 1-2 times I feel like I've had a really good writing process, but then other times it's always trying to get to that sort of feeling that I had when I had those good few moments. So it's always a fleeting thing, I would say.
And I'm really glad to see that you've been carrying on this musical journey for such a long time, because for some people it really gets really demotivating for them also. But you've been doing this for how many years now?
So I've been writing songs since I was in school, but then what had happened was that I had also been gigging. I used to play sort of like clubs and bars, and that was I think now 6 years or so I've been performing.
It has been a long time.
Yeah, it has been. But this is the first time something really substantial has come out of all this writing.
Truly. I hope and pray that you succeed more in the field of music and also write better songs along the way again. Your new album is coming out on the 14th of September, right?
Yes.
It's called The Duchess of GLOOM. Tell me more about the album. How many songs in total in the album?
Okay, so the song has 10 tracks, of which the title track is Duchess of GLOOM. As I've told earlier, that it was written in a time when I feel like I was struggling. Personally, I was in a very bad state, and it was my process of getting over things that I couldn't really put out there or talk to people, because again, I'm a very private person. So writing this album was a very personal process and also a very therapeutic one. Apart from that, 9 tracks are are complete, and one is, by complete I mean that they have lyrics and also music, and one is just a musical track, and that is the closer.
I feel like it's going to be a good album for you, because it was also in a way therapeutic for you also, in a way.
Exactly.
So I feel like it's gonna be a good one. And why did you choose, I mean, like, how did you come up with the album name, The Duchess of GLOOM? Is there a story behind the name?
Yeah, I feel like what had happened was that I had written the song, and while writing the song, I was searching for the specific sort of chorus. I was searching for a chorus that would fit, and I didn't quite get it. I kept changing. I wasn't happy. But then somehow, somewhere, I just got, it just came to me, Duchess of GLOOM. And then that was when I was like properly spending time with the fact of what I was writing about when it came to the song. So I felt like Duchess of GLOOM encapsulates the energy of the album, sort of the color palette of the album. Because it gives a sort of a gist of how it's going to sound without even having to say it.
I mean, having 10 tracks in one album, it's a lot, but I feel like it is going to be exciting and also at the same time motivating for you also to release 10 tracks.
Yes, I'm really proud of some of the tracks, lyrically as well. There's some philosophical rants of songs as well that I'm sort of proud of as a writer more than as a composer. And then there are other songs that I'm happy about how they came out musically. So I'm looking forward to its release.
Fingers crossed to that. You recorded, you wrote, and you produced these albums, these songs. Is that right?
Yes, that is very true.
It must have been stressful for you. I mean, recording your own song, writing your own song, and producing it at the same time. Tell me, how was it like?
Yes. So at one point of time, so the thing is, like I told you, I was writing a lot. So half of the album was already completed by the time I recorded it. But a few tracks that I wrote during the time of recording, they were being written and recorded at the same time. So then came the stressful part. But what I feel was I think it was very satisfying as well. It gave me a sort of satisfaction, because I remember there was this 1 month, I had forgotten which particular month it was, but I think it was early on in this year, where I would wake up and I'd wake up at 6, I'll start recording at 7, and then the day would just turn to night, and then it'd just be time for me to sleep again, and then that happened for a whole month.
Because you were busy with all the recordings and things, no?
Yep. Yeah, I just had time to, I just woke up at 6, I start recording it at 7, I just had time for lunch, and then I started recording again, then dinner, then sleep. So it was like throughout the 30 days, it was exactly like that. But after that had happened, I felt like an immense sense of satisfaction from having produced it.
Because because at the same time you were putting so much effort, so much hard work, so I believe that's why you were satisfied and contented. Oh, okay, it's not recorded. Everything has been produced.
It is. Yep. The weight of the shoulder, yes.
Truly. You were mentioning that some of your songs were written in just half an hour, but with the whole album, The Duchess of GLOOM, how long did it take to write the songs?
All right, so I'll tell you, I'll give you an insight of what actually happened. So I had written the songs. And I had composed them, and everything was set, was done. This was before COVID had happened. Most of the songs had written. I was like, all right, I'll put up an album. But then I went to a few recording studios. I think a few at home and then a few elsewhere as well. And then I tried all these recording studios, but I felt like there was some sort of like distance from what I was trying to put out and what actually came up. So at the time I didn't know how to even record myself. I knew nothing about producing or any of that thing. So then I decided, after like my fifth or sixth studio trial, I just decided I'll teach myself how to record and produce. And so that took around a month or two, and then I actually got to recording the whole album after that. So then that's why, like, it was that the other aspect of satisfaction was the fact that I had actually overcome. I actually did it by myself. So
amazing to know that. I mean, obviously, because you also want to envision what your song is about, so I guess that's the reason why you couldn't portray what the studio recordings were trying to put out for you.
Yep. So it's not that they weren't good or the technicality was lacking. It was nothing of that sort. It was just that this I wanted to have full creative freedom with this album. I wanted everything to be exactly how I want it to be.
I'm sure it's gonna come out amazing, and they will love it also. So when is it? I mean, we know that it's coming out on September 14th, but where is it coming out?
So you can check out my my album and the tracks on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and there'll also be a release of a video, a music video for the title track, which will be on YouTube, on my channel. So apart from that, there are also plans for tours. So people who are who will be there in the cities that I'll be touring at can come check the album live as well.
Amazing. I mean, all the best to you for the whole release of the album. I mean, you must be really anxious also, and excited at the same time.
Yep.
So tell me, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you that your album is coming out?
I'm pretty stoked, and the thing is that I had also, the 14th, I had chosen it strategically. I finished the album, I think, 2 months prior. But I chose it strategically, not strategically per se, but it happens to be my birthday as well. So I have chosen to release it on my birthday because I want people to congratulate me for something that I did. So yep.
It's gonna be a special day.
Yep. I hope so.
What do you want the listeners to take away from the 10 tracks that you're releasing?
I have always kept giving a very high regard. So if there's any way that my tracks can inspire someone to pick up the guitar or to start recording or to start singing, that there'll be nothing like that. So I would really hope that it inspires someone to pick up the guitar or to sing or to follow their dreams.
Truly. 5 years down the road from now, where do you see yourself as an artist?
I see myself doing a lot of shows because that is where my soul lies.
You have to
There's
manifest
no
it.
joy that I get. Yep, there's no joy that I get other than the joy that I get from playing live. And yeah, I'll be doing a lot of live shows.
Aethan, thank you so
I
much
hope so,
for being here tonight with me on the
Thank you so
show.
much,
I
Brian,
just
for
loved
having
having
me.
you.
Thanks for having me. I feel honored to be in your show. Thank you so much for the interview. I had a really nice time. It was a very wholesome experience, and I'm sure I'll take a lot of information back from this interview as well.
Thank you so much as well. I am really wishing you all the very best for your career,
so much.
your
Thank
life,
you
and
so
also
much.
for the release of your album. And happy birthday in advance, okay?
Thank you. Thank you, Zaran.